Today is a really cold day in West Fargo. Cold, like literally like 5 degrees below zero. And we've gotten a blizzard, snow. It has just really been a long winter here. And if you live in the Midwest, you can relate to what I'm saying, that you're ready for winter to be over. And the worst part is that we had a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half, where we had lots of sunshine. The temperatures were in the 30s. We actually saw a lot of melting happening, especially along our streets. And it was like a fake spring. And that just is the worst, because you get your hopes up that you're almost to the end of winter. Well, I am in a great position because I'm going on vacation next week, and I'm celebrating my 20-year wedding anniversary with my husband, Andrew. And this episode is about how am I going on vacation again without alcohol. So last year was my first vacation when we went to Miami. It was my first vacation without alcohol. And I have to say that it was hard. I gave up alcohol October 26th of 2021. And my first vacation was March 1st of 2022. And something that most people do when they go on vacation is they love to get their drinks and hang out by the beach, and they go dancing or whatever you do. Everything is around drinking. If it's by the pool or your booze cruise, I am definitely one of those people. And I am guilty of lots of tequila sunrises, tequila shots, pina coladas. That's like always been the center of why I went on vacation, was because I left my kids, I left work behind, and all I had to do was focus on having fun. And this first vacation in Miami, which I was in Miami Beach, and I stayed at the Fontainebleau, which is very party central. And I was at a conference before that, and I hadn't drank. And it was really hard. It was like, one thing, if you just sit and lay out for hours and hours and hours and you're not drinking, it's kind of like it gets boring very fast. And I did get a little uneasy, anxiety, and it wasn't the best vacation, to be honest with you. It ended up, and I hate that saying, to be honest with you, actually. Like, I'm always going to be honest with you. It's what we expect from people. So it wasn't really that much fun. It felt very forced to have fun. I really didn't understand what living with alcohol was like at that point. And I didn't realize how rich my life was without it. I almost felt like I was a little bit not, I felt a little bad for myself. Like, oh, I'm missing out on all this fun. And fast forward a year later, here we are, and I'm looking at it totally different. And the reason why is because I've had 12 months to really absorb and understand how wonderful and rich my life is without alcohol and without having that mask that I had. And when I look at, I'm leaving my kids, I'm spending this intentional time with my husband, there's some things that I'm going to do that are really going to make it a wonderful experience. And I listened to Jay Shetty, interview that he did, and he was talking about the 4 E's that couples really need to do to have the most enriching marriage. And one of them was experiences. And that's something that we're going to do in Costa Rica. And we're staying at we're going to 2 different properties, and we're going to be at the base of a volcano. We're going to do lots of hiking. We're going to see rope bridges. We're going to see waterfalls. We're going to see monkeys. We're going to do massages. We're going to do just lots of hiking and exploring and seeing lots of things that we've never done before, and do it together. We're also going to do some zip lining and something that if you listen to one of my old podcasts, I talk about when I go on vacation, something that happens to me is my mind really opens up when I'm walking, when I'm journaling. I'm out of my normal area and I'm really able to think big. And that's something that I have gone on other vacations since then, but not just with Andy. So I'm really looking forward to having that experience to dream and think bigger and go through some of these growth exercises together that I'm going to have a very clear frame of mind. I'm not going to be hungover. I'm going to be headache free. I'm going to have lots of energy. We're going to, that's another thing that Jay Shetty talks about is your goals and what you as individuals want to achieve and how you do that together and how can you best support one another. So we're really going to work on that. And I think the point of being present and healthy and exploring places that we can eat, learning another new thing. I've really got into surfing when I was in Hawaii. And so I'm going to do surf lessons again. We're going to scuba. We're going to go on a boat experience and look for whales, do some whale watching. And all of these things, like I look at the budget of the vacation that I had when I went to Mexico, or usually it was Mexico, but how much I would allot for alcohol. And it was always like $200 a day. So I think of like, well, I'm not drinking alcohol and you can only eat so much. Like you can't just like gorge yourself. So if you're exercising and you eat like fresh food and you maybe are eating just once a day because you have some snacks in the morning, you really can put some investment into these experiences. And I have to say, from the time that I felt really bad for myself in Miami and feeling like I'm missing out on life and I'm not fun and I'm not the party girl, I'm not going to be able to experience these clubs, to who I am now and the journey that I've gone through in the last year is like night and day. And knowing myself, knowing what my goals are and who I want to be in the next 6 months and living like that person now, rather than just manifesting who that person will be, living and making decisions and acting like that woman is making the difference. And that's how I'm going into this vacation. And for anyone out there that recently gave up alcohol, or if maybe you think that it just is detrimental in your life, you're going to go through ebbs and flows of it doesn't feel great. You feel left out. You feel really alone. But the overall understanding that you are living with your feelings and that you can do it and you can be the best version of yourself, and you are always your same self. You're not making decisions based on having even like think of like a third party influence, but you're not inhibited. The last thing I'm going to say about this is every time that I would go on vacation, I would go to relax. I would go to unwind. I would go to separate myself so I could recharge. And then I would reconnect with my husband. Alcohol was always like a wedge between all of those things. I would end up depleting myself. I would be less healthy than I was because I drank more and I was putting a poison in my body. I became really argumentative and I would say things and do things that I wouldn't do if I wasn't drinking. And that's the biggest piece that I would live with then, is that sort of regret and remorse of why did I say that? Why did I do that? We got in a really big fight and now I kind of have to backtrack from that. And I won't have to do that this vacation. I'm more excited about this vacation than I ever have been, not just because of the weather, But because I really feel like I actually am going to get a refresh, I'm actually going to invest my time and my heart into this, spiritually, connecting with my husband, connecting with myself, and I don't even miss alcohol. And you will get to that point, and I'm really excited by what's going to happen when I'm done with this vacation, the experiences, the memories that I'm going to have, everything for the first time. And I'm always going to feel my best self. And if I don't feel my best self, it's not because I was self-inflicted. So if you are, if you're recently without alcohol, on my social channels on Patty Post CEO, I post mocktails every Monday. I love a good mocktail. It's fun. I do them a lot with my daughter, Lily, and Topher gets in there on there too, my middle wonderful son. And it's our little thing that we get to do together. But if you have any questions on living alcohol free or things that come to your mind, and you want to talk to someone, I'm here to encourage you, and send me a message, and take that vacation time to explore and live your best life. And if you're doing it alcohol free, I totally commend you, because it's 100% worth it. I know that you can do it. And just like this podcast is now, you persevere, and you go through those feelings of uneasiness, and you go through those times that it just doesn't feel right and you want to escape. Live with those emotions. Learn how to cope with them. You're going to be a happier, healthier person, and you're going to be your very best self. So if you like this podcast, please, I really appreciate 5 stars, and write a little review if it meant something to you. And most importantly, you keep persevering or quit. I like the option of persevering. If you have a guest that you'd like to recommend, send that to me too. I'd love to hear about them, how they've inspired you, what business advice they have. And with that, keep on persevering, people. I'm Patty Post, your host. Till next time.